our podcast. I am Sam. I will be your host today. And our guest is Rosa.
Hello, everyone. It's great to be back.
Rosa will help us again with shadowing.
I hope our listeners will love it.
I hope so, Rosa. Shadowing is such a great technique to practice English pronunciation and speaking flow.
Exactly. Remember, shadowing is simple. You listen to someone speaking English, and you try to repeat exactly what they say and how they say it, like you are their shadow.
So, Rosa, what do you have for today's video?
We have a wonderful story for you to practice with. It's about Marco's journey learning English. I will read the story. Please listen carefully. You can use this story for your shadowing practice later.
Okay, listeners, get ready. Rosa, please start the story.
Okay, here is Marco's story. Marco's English journey. Hello, friends. My name is Marco. Today, I want to share my story about learning English. Maybe my experiences will sound familiar to you. Maybe my story can give you some encouragement and hope on your own journey. It all started a few years ago. At that time, English was just a subject I learned in school. It felt like a wall I couldn't climb. The words, the grammar rules, they seemed like a secret code I couldn't understand. When I heard someone speaking English on TV, I felt left out, like I was watching the world from behind a glass window. One day, my favorite music band released a new song. The melody was fantastic. I loved it immediately, but the words were a mystery. I found the translation online. When I read the translation, the song felt even more powerful. I thought, wow, English can share feelings like this. It's not just words, it's a way to connect. That feeling was strong. I decided right then, I really need to understand this language, not just read translations. I wanted to feel the music and the message directly. Making the decision felt good, but starting was confusing. I downloaded a few English learning apps. In the beginning, it was exciting. Learning simple words like hello, thank you, cat, dog, book, and friend made me feel like I was making progress. It was like collecting colorful stones. Each new word was a small treasure. But soon, the real problems started. Understanding conversations or making my own sentences felt impossible. Grammar was like a big puzzle with missing pieces. I couldn't figure it out. Why I go, but he goes. Why ate, but not eated. My head hurts sometimes. Pronunciation was another challenge. Saying 3 instead of tree felt so hard. I wanted to give up many times. Maybe this is just too difficult for me, I thought sadly. Maybe I am not a talented person for languages. I saw other people chatting easily in English online or understanding movies, and I compared myself to them. They are so fast. I am so slow. I felt discouraged and stopped studying for almost a week. My motivation was nearly gone. I was feeling very low. I almost closed my English books forever. Then, one gray afternoon, I was walking down the street, not thinking about English at all. I saw a big poster for a new movie. I saw a simple English sentence on it. Coming soon. I understood it. Just 2 words. But I understood them instantly, without thinking, without translating. It was a tiny, tiny thing. But in that moment, it felt like seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. It whispered to me, See? You are learning something, even when it feels slow. That tiny moment gave me a little push to try again. I started reading stories online from other language learners. They shared their struggles too. They made mistakes. They felt frustrated, but they kept going. Reading their stories made me feel less alone. I recognized my struggles were normal. So I made a new promise to myself. No more comparing. Just small steps. Every single day. Even 10 or 15 minutes. Consistency was the new plan. But how to make it a real habit? Making it a habit wasn't easy at first. I forgot sometimes or felt too tired. So I decided to link it to something I already do every day. I chose to study for 15 minutes right after I finished my breakfast before starting my day. I put my English book right next to my coffee cup so I couldn't miss it. It was a visual reminder. Some mornings, I didn't want to do it. My bed felt warm or I felt lazy. But, I told myself, just 15 minutes. You can do 15 minutes. The key was consistency, not waiting for motivation. I tried hard not to break the chain, day after day. After about 3 weeks, it started to feel normal, automatic, like brushing my teeth. It became part of my morning routine. I started trying different things that felt more like fun than study. I didn't choose just any books. I love space and stars. So, I looked for simple children's books about planets, astronauts, and the moon. Because I liked the topic, reading felt less like work and more like exploring. Learning words like rocket, star, planet, galaxy, and fly was genuinely exciting. When I finished my first thin book about a trip to the moon, cover to cover, I felt like I had climbed a small mountain. Cartoons use easier language, and the pictures help understanding. I started with English subtitles, then sometimes tried turning them off for a few minutes. Understanding even a little bit without subtitles felt amazing. My room looked funny for a while. I put small sticky notes with English words on everything: door, window, table, chair, mirror, lamp. Seeing the words every day helped fix them in my memory. Talking to myself in the mirror. Yes, I talked to my reflection in the mirror. Simple things like, today I feel happy, or I need to buy milk. It felt silly at first, but it was good practice for making sentences without pressure. I learned about a technique called shadowing. It sounded interesting for improving speaking rhythm and sound. I found short audio clips online, sometimes from cartoons I watched, sometimes from podcasts for learners. I would listen to one sentence or phrase on my headphones, and then immediately try to say it exactly the same way, at the same speed, copying the intonation, like an echo. It felt very strange at first. My mouth felt clumsy trying to copy the sounds quickly, but doing this regularly, even for just a few minutes, really helped my pronunciation. My speaking started to sound a little more natural, less robotic over time. It was like learning the music of the language. These small steps and little moments started to build something bigger: confidence. One evening, I was watching a funny American TV show. There was a joke, and suddenly, I got it. I understood the wordplay in English. I laughed out loud. It wasn't a translation in my head. I understood it directly. I felt so smart and proud in that second. Another time, I dared myself to go to a coffee shop popular with tourists. My heart was beating fast. I stood in line, practicing in my head. 1 coffee, please, black coffee. When it was my turn, I took a deep breath and said, "Hello? Can I have 1 black coffee, please?" The barista smiled kindly and replied, "Sure thing. Coming right up." It worked out. She understood me. I paid, remembered to say thank you, and took my coffee. My hands were shaking a little from the adrenaline, but inside I felt fantastic. I did it. I used my English in the real world. It was just a coffee, but it felt like a huge victory. I paid, remembered to say thank you, and took my coffee. And remember the time I helped the tourist asking for directions? I didn't just say, "Go straight, turn left." I managed to add, "It's near the big red building. You can't miss it." The tourist's face lit up. "Oh, thank you so much. That's very helpful." Hearing that thank you and seeing that genuine smile made my whole day better. Now I am still on my journey. I am not fluent like a native speaker. Not yet. I still make mistakes. Sometimes I search for words. Sometimes my grammar isn't perfect. But that's okay. I am miles away from the Marco who felt lost and couldn't understand anything. Now, I can watch movies and understand most of the story. I can listen to music and feel the meaning. I can have simple conversations. Most importantly, learning English is not a chore anymore. It's an adventure. I enjoy the process. This journey taught me more than just English. It taught me patience. It taught me that failure is just a step towards learning. It taught me that small, consistent steps can lead to big results. That impossible wall I saw years ago, it wasn't a wall. It was just a staircase, and I've been climbing it step by step. So, if you are learning English now, if you feel stuck, if you feel like giving up, please don't. Remember, you are not alone. Everyone finds it hard sometimes. Everyone makes mistakes. That's how we learn. So, if you are learning English, please don't give up when it feels hard. You are not alone.
Thank you, Rosa. That was a really nice story. Very motivating.
Yes, I think many learners can feel like Marco sometimes.
Absolutely. So, listeners, now it's your turn to practice shadowing. You can listen to the story again. Choose any sentence you like. Pause the podcast after Rosa says it, and then repeat the sentence aloud. Try to copy the sound and the rhythm.
That's right. You don't need to understand every single word. Just focus on listening and repeating.
Now, let's do a quick example for you. Rosa will say 4 sentences from the story, and I will shadow her. Listen carefully. Ready, Rosa?
Okay, I am ready, Sam. First example's coming. It felt like a wall I couldn't climb. The words, the grammar rules, they seemed like a secret code I couldn't understand.
It felt like a wall I couldn't climb. The words, the grammar rules, they seemed like a secret code I couldn't understand.
Good job, Sam. This is the second one. It worked out. She understood me.
It worked out. She understood me.
Okay, this is the last one. They are so fast. I am so slow.
They are so fast. I am so slow.
Good job, Sam. You were great.
Thank you, Rosa. It was really useful practice. I hope our listeners will like it.
It was a great pleasure, Sam.
Okay, listeners, remember to get back to video and do shadowing. Bye for now.
Happy shadowing.
Wow. It was a fantastic podcast.
Yes, it was, Lisa. And Rosa told the story very well.
And Sam was very good at shadowing.
I hope our followers like the video and find it useful.
Okay, well, let's start our podcast. What are the words today, Eric?
The first word today is talented. Then we will continue with over time and to figure out. Then work out. And the final one is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, let's start with the first word.
The first word is talented.
Talented.
Talented means someone is very good at something. It can be music, sports, art, or even math. You'll hear this word a lot when people talk about skills or abilities.
Oh, I hear it often when people talk about singers or athletes. Like, she's so talented.
Yes. You can also say, my friend is talented at playing the piano.
Wait, so we say talented at something?
Yes, we usually say talented at followed by a noun or an ing verb. For example, she's talented at singing, or they're talented at football.
Got it. Can I say he's talented at cooking?
Yes, you can. That's a very natural sentence.
What about something more everyday, like she's talented at organizing events?
You can use talented in casual or formal situations. It's very flexible.
That's good to know. I think my sister is talented at solving problems. She always knows what to do.
Great example. Talented is an adjective, so it comes before a noun or after be, like he's talented or she's a talented dancer.
Okay, got it. Let's move on to the next word.
The next word is overtime.
Overtime. So does that mean it didn't happen fast?
Exactly. Overtime means something happens slowly, step by step, during a longer period. For example, her English improved over time.
Ah, so it's not right away, but little by little.
That's right. Here's another example. You'll feel more confident over time. It means you'll feel better after some weeks or months.
I like that. It gives hope. So it's like saying, give it time?
Yes, very similar. You can also say, their friendship grew stronger over time, or things changed a lot over time.
Can we use it with any tense?
Mostly with the past or the future, like he learned the language over time, or things will get better over time.
So it's great for talking about progress.
Exactly. Progress, change, or improvement that doesn't happen all at once.
Okay, well, I think now our followers understand the phrase over time better. Let's move on to our next word.
The next word is figure out.
Figure out.
Figure out is a phrasal verb that means to understand something or to find a solution to a problem, usually after thinking about it.
So, like when something is confusing and then you finally understand it?
Yes, Lisa, it's correct. For example, I couldn't figure out why the computer wasn't working, but then I saw the cable was loose.
Ah, I see. So you thought about it and found the reason.
Exactly. She needs to figure out how to get to the airport tomorrow.
So, in that sentence, figure out is followed by how to.
That's right. You often use figure out how or what to do something, or figure out where to go. It tells you that someone needs to find a way or a plan.
So, I need to figure out what to cook for dinner.
Perfect example. Or, he's trying to figure out the instructions for this new game. In this case, figure out is followed by a noun, the instructions.
So you can figure out a thing, like a puzzle, or figure out how to do something.
Precisely. It's about solving or understanding. For example, don't worry, we'll figure out a way to help you. Or you might say, it took me a while to figure out this map.
Okay, got it. Shall we move on to the next word?
Let's do that. The next word is workout.
Work out.
Workout is a phrasal verb, and it has some meanings. But today, we're looking at work out, when it means that a situation develops successfully or something has a good result. Basically, when things go well.
Ah, so if I say it worked out, it means it went well?
Exactly. For instance, I was worried about the presentation, but it worked out perfectly.
So the presentation was successful.
Yes, Lisa, it's correct. They had many discussions, but the agreement worked out in the end. This means they reached a successful agreement.
I see. How do we use it in a sentence, Eric?
We often use it with it or things. Like, we weren't sure if the plan would succeed, but it all worked out. Or, I really hope things work out for you in your new city.
So, in this sense, workout isn't usually followed by a direct object like a problem. It's more about the situation itself.
That's right. You might add an adverb like, well, fine, or nicely. It worked out well. Or the phrase in the end is common too.
So, if my friend was trying to organize a surprise party and was stressed, and later I hear it was great, I could say, I'm glad it all worked out.
That's a perfect use of the phrase.
Okay, well, I think now our followers understand this meaning of work out better. Now, let's move on to our last word.
The last word is a light at the end of the tunnel.
A light at the end of the tunnel.
It's an idiom. It means a sign of hope or an indication that a difficult or unpleasant period is coming to an end.
So, if you're having a hard time, and then something good starts to happen, that's the light?
Exactly. Imagine you are in a long, dark tunnel. That light at the end shows you that you are close to getting out of the darkness.
That makes sense. Can you give an example?
Precisely. Or, the company was losing money for a long time, but now sales are improving. It's a light at the end of the tunnel for them.
So, it's about feeling optimistic after a tough situation. How do we usually use it in a sentence?
Often, you'll hear, see a light at the end of the tunnel, like in my exam example. Or you can say, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. For instance, we know things are tough right now, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
So, if a friend has been looking for a job for months and finally gets an interview, they might say they see a light at the end of the tunnel?
Yes, that's a perfect way to use it. It shows that a difficult situation is hopefully ending soon.
Okay, well, that's it for today's episode of Simply Explained English. We hope you found the words helpful and the explanations easy to understand.
Thanks for listening. Keep studying your English.
And stay tuned. Bye for now.
Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.